Hello, animation students. Welcome to our online lessons in animation. And in this video, we're going to talk about the different types of drawings in 2D animation. Okay, there are at least three basic drawings in 2D animation, namely the key poses, the breakdowns, and in-betweens. Now, you can pause this recording and take a screenshot of this lecture notes right here. Okay, so you can pause this video. So anyway, there are three types of drawings in 2D animation, namely these drawings right here. Okay, so first we have the key poses, or also known as the key drawings. Now, the key poses are the storytelling poses. Okay, these are the most important poses that you have to draw in order to convey a certain action. Okay, these are the minimum drawings you have to draw in order to convey a certain action or to convey a certain motion. Now, this is followed by a breakdown, which is a drawing or a posing between two key poses. Okay. And then we also have the in-betweens or the in-between drawings, the purpose of which is to smoothen further the movement. And sometimes they're also drawn in between key poses. Okay. So now, these drawings are done by specialized artists in the animation industry. Now, you have to know that the animation industry is divided into different departments. So we have the animation department, the layout department, the cleanup and the in-between department, and so on and so forth, including the digital ink and paint. Okay, so for the key poses, of a certain animation, this is done by the animator, and this animator comes from the animation department. Okay, and the breakdowns are also done by the animator from the animation department. Okay, so whereas the in-between drawings are done by a specialized group of artists called the in-betweeners. Okay, now here's how it works. Okay, so we have a situation here. We have a situation here. So let's say that I am going to uh, I need to animate a head turn animation. So this character is turning his head from one direction towards to the other. Okay, so this character is turning his head from one direction to the other, and the character is in medium shot. Okay, so we are inside the Adobe Animate here. Okay, we are inside the Adobe Animate here. So I have made this background using Photoshop, and I basically imported it inside Adobe Animate. So we have a layer here for the background. So now I'm going to lock this layer right here. Okay, so, and then I'm going to make an estimate. Okay, so probably this animation that I'm going to create is going to be more than a second. So, or let's just estimate it around 2 seconds right here. So I'm going to right click on my mouse and press on insert frame. And as you can see, this is a long keyframe right here. All right. So after that, I'm going to basically add another layer here. And of course, I'm going to start off my sketch in basic shapes of my character. Okay, and I'm going to create a simple character consisting of basic shapes. So these are called, or this is rather called the construction. Okay, so I'm going to rename this layer right here as rough sketch. And I'm going to click somewhere here using this arrow, and then I'm going to press OK. And that's it. You have this rough sketch layer right here, in which I'm going to draw my character. Okay, so let's say the character is turning his head, and the character is in medium shot. Okay, so of course I have to create a rough sketch of my character first. So let's just say I'm going to use this color right here. Okay, so I am going to demonstrate the key poses. Okay. So here's the question. In a head turn animation, how much do you need to draw? Okay, how many drawings do you need to draw in order to convey a certain action, which in this case is a head turn? Okay, so in my case, I deem it necessary to draw at least two key poses of this character. One looking to the other direction and one looking to the another direction. Okay, so let's just I'm just gonna create a rough sketch of my character right here. Probably I'm going to select a lighter color for my brush tool. Okay, that's the basic shape of my character. So let's just say that he's looking towards this direction. So that's the rough sketch of my character. His head is circular. He's in medium shot. All right, so that's my character right here. Okay, so the reason why I selected a uh, a lighter color for my brush tool is that later on I'm going to color. I'm going to clean up my character drawings. Okay, so now we have one drawing here and he's looking at the other direction. Okay, now I am going to draw another key pose. Okay, I'm going to draw another key pose that depicts this character looking at the other side. So let's just say at frame number 20, rather frame number 25, I'm going to insert a blank keyframe. Okay, so I'm going to right click on my mouse and insert blank keyframe right here. So as you can see on the timeline, we have a blank keyframe right here. Okay, now I'm going to activate the onion skin in order for me to see the previous drawing, which is located in this area right here. This is the keyframe right here. Okay, so now I'm going to activate the onion skin. And you can see the previous drawing, that goes the image right there. Okay, and the further you stretch the onion skin in the timeline, the lighter the ghostly figure becomes. Okay, so anyway, we'll talk more on that later on. So for now, I am going to create another drawing of this similar character. This time, he's looking at the other direction. So I'm going to draw a circle because that's his basic shape. Now, of course, the character depends. The construction of your character depends on your character design that you have conceptualized in the pre-production stage of your animation. Okay? So let's just say he's looking towards this direction. Okay, so now these are the key poses of your character. So let me just blind my background so you can see clearly the character. So these are the key poses. These are the minimum drawings. These are the minimum drawings that you have to draw in order to convey a certain action, which in this case is a head turn. So the fact that the character changed its posing like that indicates that he has just turned his head. However, the movement, the motion of the character isn't smooth. And this is where in between comes. Okay. So now I'm just gonna skip the breakdown for the meantime, and I'm just gonna draw. I'm just gonna go directly towards the in between. Okay. Now, if this is going to be, let's say, the animator is done with the animation, and he passed his drawing to the in betweener. What the in betweener is going to do is that he's literally going to draw the in between drawing of these two. Okay, so if this is going to be done by the in-betweener, he will right click on this and insert blank keyframe. turn on the onion skin, and he'll just draw the in-between drawings right here. Okay, so something like this. It's literally the in-between or the middle of those key poses. No, when you say in between, it's literally the middle of those key poses that we just draw. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. Okay, now as you can see that the drawing is smoothened. Okay, however, it lacks creativity. It lacks a particular animation principle called arc. Okay, because the in-betweener's job is to draw literally the middle of the two key poses. Okay, so what the breakdown does, okay, so what the breakdown does, it's is that it adds creativity to the animation. Okay, so one of the beauty of breakdown is that it adds an arc to the movement. Okay, and this is also done by the animator. Okay, so going back to our animation, I am going to erase the in-between drawing. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a certain animation principle called arc and also squash and stretch. So the reason for that is to make our animation a little bit more creative. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to squash his head a little bit right here. And I'm going to put the ears right here. He's looking downwards and he's squinting and his shoulders are raised a little bit. Okay, and that's what happens. Okay, so this is the breakdown right here at the middle of those two key poses that we just created. It adds creativity to our animation. Okay, so it adds creativity. I'm going to unblind my background. So, all right, so here we go. So here's my drawing right here. Okay, so I'm just gonna change the color of my drawings right here. So I'm gonna change this to probably red or uh probably dark blue. So just so that you can see my drawing. There you go. Okay. So here's my drawing right here. Okay. So as you can see, uh he's having a squash and stretch at the middle. Okay. Now after this, the animator is going to submit these animation into the in-betweener towards the in-between department. Okay. So he's gonna pass his animation to the in-between department, and this will be continued. The animation process will be continued by the in-betweener. Okay. Um. So right here, what the in-betweener is going to do, he's gonna follow these drawings. So right here, the in-betweener is going to create an in-between drawing between this drawing and this drawing right here. So right here in the timeline, he's going to right-click and insert blank keyframe, and then activate the onion skin. And as you can see the squashed head of the drawing next frame, and the normal head of the animation or the character on the previous frame. So what the in-betweener is going to do is going to draw somewhere here in between these two drawings, and probably he's looking downwards and his eyes are already half closed at this moment. The nose is right here, the ears is right here, and the shoulder is going to be right here. And as you can see, If we remove the onion skin right here, you can see the movement, the arcing motion of our character. So that's what the in-between does. Okay. So if you compare our movement today as to the movement a while ago, it has more, it has become more creative because of the arc and the squash and stretch. And these are principles in animation. Okay, so right here, I'm going to add another in-between drawing right here. Probably I'm just going to uh, extend this a little bit further. Right click, insert frame. Okay, so I'm going to extend this right here, insert frame. Okay, so right now, I am going to right click on this area right here. Okay, because I'm going to add another drawing right here. So I'm going to right click, insert blank keyframe, activate the onion skin, and wearing the in-betweener's hat, I'm going to add a drawing right here. Okay, it looks like that. I'm just going to resize it a little bit. And there you go. Probably his eyes are halfway opening right here. And the shoulders are halfway down. Okay, sometimes the lines get really, really confusing. Okay, so let's play. Let's add some details right here. And let's pick some details right here. Okay, so right here. Okay, there you go. So you can see the drawing. You can see the arcing motion. Let me just uh, change my color so you can see it properly. I'm gonna change my color into black, the color of my brush strokes. Okay, so unselect. So there you go. You can see the arcing motion of my animation because I have put a breakdown. Okay, so yeah. So this is your rough animation. And as you can see, my drawing is rough, consisting of basic shapes of the character. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so we have the two key poses, we have the breakdown right here. Okay, we have the breakdown right here, and we have the in-betweens. Okay, which further completes our motion. Okay, but since you are multimedia art students, you do all of these. Okay, so sometimes the breakdowns are called, or rather, they are already considered as key poses because they are also done by the animator. Now, that leaves us with two types of drawings, namely the key poses and the in-betweens. Okay, so whenever you are animating a character, you start with the key poses and then you draw the drawings in between. Okay, so in our next video, we are going to clean this animation up. Okay, we are going to clean up this animation and color it. Okay, so I'm gonna see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.